Why did Muhammad married Aisha a 9 years old? Before we begin, we would like to provide a warning to our viewers. The topic we are about to discuss involves sensitive historical and cultural aspects that may challenge preconceived notions. We urge you to approach this discussion with an open mind and a willingness to learn. Our intention is to provide a balanced and informed perspective, promoting understanding and respect. Remember, it is essential to view historical events through the lens of their time and cultural context. With that said, let us delve into the truth behind the marriage of Prophet Muhammad and Aisha. Welcome back, viewers. Today, we tackle a commonly misunderstood topic, the marriage of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to Aisha. There are claims that she was married at a young age, but it's important to examine this within the historical context. Join us as we unravel the truth and dispel misconceptions surrounding this topic. And before that, if you have not subscribed my channel, please do subscribe my channel for more interesting videos. So let's begin, Habibi. Many people claim that Prophet Muhammad PBUH married Aisha when she was a child. According to an authentic hadith, he married Aisha when she was 6, and he consummated the marriage when she was 9. However, what needs to be remembered is that puberty, sexual maturity, and mental maturity changes at different times throughout history. For example, in 1880 in America, the age of consent was set at 10 or 12 in most states. Delaware was even lower, being set at 7, which is even lower than when the Prophet PBUH consummated his marriage with Aisha. For a very long time in the United Kingdom, and only changing about 100 years ago, the age of consent was 12. Today in Japan, it's 13. Today in parts of Mexico, it's 12. In Western law, Richard II of England married Isabella of Valois in the year 1396, when she was 7 years old. When historians talk about this marriage, it's only about how amazing it was and how it brought peace between England and France, with no mention of age. According to the consensus of Christian scholars, Mary married Joseph when she was 12 years old, and he was 90. In Jewish law, according to Jacob Neusner's book, History of Mishnaic Law of Purities, women are ready for marriage at 3 years and 1 day old. Look at how all of these respected countries, people, and religions had a very low idea of the age of consent, with many being younger than the age of Aisha. Even the Western countries, which many claim and believe are the most civilized, are among the countries that have been normalizing this until very recently. But no one says that the people who set these age requirements were all pedophiles. Rather, they knew at that time girls were completely ready for marriage. Now imagine 1500 years ago, and how different the women matured at that time. Back then, there was no school or education. A boy pretty much became a man when he was able to hunt animals and bring food home every day, and a girl pretty much became a woman when she could take care of the house. The fact of the matter is that it is well known that people in the past would generally live a shorter life. Therefore, back then, they matured quicker biologically as well, both physically and mentally. The average life expectancy at the time of the Prophet Muhammad PBUH, which is the 6th century, was 30, 35. But as of 2020, it's 77 years old. A 9-year-old today is not ready for marriage, but back then, they were more than ready. As noted above, even America and the UK pretty much thought the same thing only 150 years ago, which is nowhere near the time of the Prophet PBUH. If one goes back closer to the time of the Prophet Muhammad PBUH, the age that would be acceptable goes even as young as 3. Again, like mentioned earlier, all of this is merely due to the way people matured at certain periods in history. Additionally, just the fact that Prophet Muhammad PBUH waited 3 years to consummate the marriage is enough evidence to show he waited until she was mentally and sexually ready, since there would be no other reason for him to do so. On top of that, Aisha was even engaged to someone else before the Prophet PBUH married her, which shows that this was something normal back then. Moreover, according to historical evidence, the biggest enemies of the Prophet PBUH at that time slandered him by calling him a madman, a magician, etc. However, what they never did was bring up the age of Aisha to ridicule him, since for them, it was normal. Now one might ask, but isn't the Prophet supposed to be a role model for all Muslims? How can he do this when it wouldn't relate to today's times? This is exactly why the Prophet PBUH did not give a specific numerical age for marriage at all. The age of consent in Islam is when someone hits puberty and are both sexually and mentally ready. Therefore, to conclude, when one looks at the evidence, one quickly realizes that they are putting their cultural values, rooted in ethnocentrism, that they learned from society today, and applying it to a place 1500 years ago, where the situation and maturity of people would have occurred in a completely different manner. And Allah knows best. As we conclude, it is essential to approach the marriage of Prophet Muhammad and Aisha with an open mind and a commitment to understanding historical context. By examining age norms, cultural practices, and the Islamic perspective, we can unravel the truth behind this significant historical event. It is crucial to avoid imposing our modern values onto the past, recognizing that historical figures should be evaluated within the cultural and social dynamics of their time. Thank you for joining us today as we explored the facts surrounding the marriage of Prophet Muhammad and Aisha. Together, let us seek knowledge, embrace empathy, and cultivate a deeper appreciation for the complexity of history. Until next time, let us continue our quest for truth and understanding. And if you liked my video, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe.